Well, I just witnessed a strange conversation outside. Okay, I know I keep not putting out videos and I'm really sorry. Sometimes I was working and busy and sometimes I was just a slacker. What can I say? I got that summertime laziness. Okay, so the other day, walking down the street and I see this person that I do not know, and as I tend to do, I immediately start judging them. And I thought, you know, if she would just do her hair this way or wear not those clothes, like, she could be actually pretty, but poor thing looks terrible. I do this all the time, is that I kind of like assess someone and I'm like, why would they put their hair like that? Why are they wearing horrible clothes? And then I keep correcting myself and thinking, like, whoa, like, if they're like happy with the way they are, they have so many other things going on in their life probably, aside from their physical appearance. And even when it comes to their physical appearance, if they're happy with it and they like what they are, what they look like, then who cares? Who am I to judge, right? And I think of this sometimes when people talk about like body weight and stuff, that, you know, person's like, oh, I'm so fat. And your reaction might be like, you're not fat, or you're not that fat. It's like we equate in our culture, we equate, you know, being fat is bad and being skinny is good. And, you know, I think that's kind of dumb. And even though, sure, I have my bias about what I think is beautiful or just attractive to me, but, you know, even if someone is fat and they're like, I'm so fat, the solution is not, no, you're not that bad thing. No, that bad word, fat, you're not that. Of course not. The answer is more like, well, are you healthy and you're taking care of yourself? And are you happy with who you are? And unfortunately, I don't think we always have the right answers to that either, because sometimes we're not making healthy choices. But also, are you happy with yourself? A lot of people just have a bad self-image because they think being fat is bad, or whatever is bad, whatever they are, that they can't ignore about themselves is bad, so they're not happy with themselves. And I think that's silly. I mean, at the same time, like, I do certain things in regards to my own physical appearance because I want to be a certain way and I want to look a certain way. I don't want to be fat, right? But I think the thing, we see a certain thing, like I see like my belly or something, and I'm like, oh, I'm fat. And then I'm like, well, who cares? Like, I'm me. I know that I'm careful about what I eat. I know that my husband thinks I'm beautiful. Like, so what does it really matter? Like, he doesn't see the parts of me that I don't like. It's not even a matter of whether or not he sees it. It's the fact that that's not the most important thing about our relationship, obviously. Like, he loves me for me, and I love him for him. And I would never say, you know, at least from my point of view, I would never say something to him about his appearance. I mean, I think he's adorable and amazing in every way, right? But like, I would never say like, oh my goodness, this thing is wrong with you, because one, it's not important because he's amazing, and two, I want him, as I want for myself and for everyone, to have a good self-image and self-worth, to not be ashamed of what he looks like. That just sounds like kind of silly, but like, no one should be ashamed, I think. You know, you're you. You've lived your life. No one knows what you have lived through but you, whether you're too skinny or too fat or too whatever. What is the big deal? The big deal is like, we should care about who people are and not judge them on their appearance. It's a great way to express yourself by caring about the outward stuff, but it's not really who you are. Speaking of segues, it makes me think sometimes, like, when I dyed my hair. You know, when I decided to dye my hair, I knew I liked it, and I liked it enough that it didn't matter to me what anyone said. It was a good thing to think that before I did it, but what I wasn't prepared for was the amount of people that were going to outright question my decision and even tell me that it looked bad, or that they didn't like it, or the people that when they saw me had a shocked look on their face. So I wasn't really prepared for that, but okay, I get it. Maybe it was a big change, but like, who cares? I did it for fun. It's temporary anyways, whether or not that matters. And I just think it's cool and I like it. Who cares? And what's the big deal? It doesn't, although it's an expression of myself, it doesn't change or say anything bad about who I am in a way that should concern you at all. And why do people concern themselves with things like that? You know, like, you do what you think looks good. And yeah. Lawrence, this has nothing to do with you You're perfect the way you are, obviously. And I feel as though this is possibly irrelevant to you because, like, you're a boy, so clearly you don't care about what anyone thinks. You don't notice things like that. I know, it's true. Sorry. But I would be curious to know if Amanda faced anything like this when she dyed her hair crazy colors too. Her hair is obviously gorgeous, so like, I'm sure everyone loved it, right? But it's just funny how much people concern themselves with the appearance of others. And you know, I do the same thing, like I said, when I'm walking down the street and I'm like, that hair, no. That outfit, why would anyone buy those clothes? Things like that. And it's like, what do I care? Like, they should be happy with themselves. But I turn it around to say this. It's none of my business if somebody decides to be what I see as unattractive. But is it any of my business when somebody decides to be what I think is attractive? Is it okay for me to say that? Doesn't really matter, sort of. They're doing their own thing. I think it's nice to give compliments where they're due, of course, and anything to show our affection and to lift someone else up and brighten their day. I think that's great. But sometimes I think I make it too much my business if someone is attractive because I'm like, oh my goodness, that's too much, right? And you know, it just wouldn't be a real Sibling Rivalry video of mine if I didn't reference paper towns. One thing that they say in paper towns is sometimes we forget that other people are humans just like we are. We either lift them up as gods or we tear them down like they're just animals. And guess what? They're all just people too. Just one for you to think about. Usually I watch your videos so I have a little bit of inspiration and reference for my videos, but I'm gonna tell you something, I didn't do that. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll do that for my next video next week, assuming I make a video next week, even though I'm a total slacker. So, it's been real. I will see you on Friday. Yeah. That was terrible. I don't want to end like that. Okay, bye.